Ask questions. Asking your spouse, hey, what is a good idea we can do with the family over the holiday season? Ask, get inclusive, be curious. What is up, everybody? It's Ed Gow Jr. from Dad Central, and with the man that has beaten down all the construction jackhammers in the background. I don't hear them anymore. They're finished. So you have to realize Drew's a Spartan race guy. So I think he went out there and he did some business. I ain't gonna know what kind of business on the construction workers. What's up?
Well, thanks, Ed. I wish I had something to do with the fact that the jackhammering is no longer right outside my window, but unfortunately, I did not. The closest I came was the city inspector, maybe, or the overseeing engineer. He was out there, and I talked with him one day. I said, "Hey, so how long is this process going to take?" And anyway, so he told me November, and guess what? We're in November, near the end. So at the end of the day, it's just time that passed, and that was it. So
yeah, it's in the
here we
past.
are.
It's in the rear view mirror. There it's gone. All right. So we're excited. Another episode of the Dad Central Show. And today we're going to be talking about, as we continue our holiday series for dads, fathers, and male caregivers, we're going to be talking about mindful parenting during the holiday hustle. So four things we're going to chat about today: how to stay calm and present amidst the business of the season. Good luck. But I'm encouraged. Mindful activities dads can do with their kids to reduce stress, exploring the benefits of slowing down and focusing on quality time, and then practical mindfulness practices dads can incorporate into daily life. But before we go any further, our show is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And Dove Men Plus Care believes that care is the best of a man because when men care for themselves and others, there's a positive impact. So, Drew, another wonderful holiday season subject: mindful parenting during the holiday hustle. What comes up in your mind first, just general, before we go in?
Home Alone.
Well done. Well done. Well done.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah. Maybe not the example of mindful parenting in that movie, but certainly entertaining for over the holidays. So, no, I'm kidding, obviously. Mindful parenting during the holidays is the first thing that comes to mind. Is that's a challenge, honestly, uh, because it feels like even more demands, as we've talked about in our previous show, are coming at you. So, when you're busy and stretched, to be a mindful parent is hard. And you add the extra complication of the holidays and other elements, it's a real challenge. So I guess it's valuable we're talking about it, and hopefully we can distill something that people can take away and apply to their holiday season that hopefully supports what they want to achieve when it comes to their parenting.
100%.
Your thoughts?
Well, the word mindful, right there, mindful. And it's interesting. I think on one of our episodes, I think we have to go a little bit deeper into the whole area for mindfulness is a big word you hear these days, or a popular word. But during the holiday hustle, again, it's one of those things too. It's either going to get better. The thing is, it's either going to get exemplified or there's going to be a deficit during the holiday season. It's one of these things too that there is hustle. There's a lot of hustle. And are you able to just breathe? Are you able to just breathe? So, as I said in our previous conversation, where the mind goes, the person follows. So, we want to encourage always, all times during the year, mindful hustle, but especially when there's a little bit more extra time, mindfulness becomes more important. So, that's my thoughts. Let's get into the first conversation piece: how to stay calm and present amidst the business of the season. What are your thoughts?
I think number one, you have to know what stresses you. And I will have to say, early on in my fatherhood, I don't think I was really as aware as I should have been on what created stress inside. So I think I've learned in that process. I just wrote a couple things down here as far as guidance to anyone else, like to notice your stressors. Here are common stressors that I've experienced in my life. So one, money, relationships, health, expectations or family dynamics around the holidays, huge stressors. Sometimes, depending on your context, loneliness, isolation, sometimes fear or self doubt. I mean, that's just the starting point. But all of those, I think, are exasperating. Like the amount of money that people feel compelled to spend over the holidays that really, from my perspective, is necessary. But there's these family expectations, or just this is how I've always done it. Then the relationship that you're in, the dynamic. You and your partner, if you're in a married or cohabitating relationship, you've probably got different expectations around the holidays. You've got your own family and what they're demanding. Some parents, I'm glad this isn't my situation. Some parents literally, like, if you don't do what they want for the holidays, like it's like you're excommunicated. I don't really understand that, but that's the reality some people have. So all of these stressors are going to pull you out of being mindful or present. And so for me, the mindfulness is you kind of notice these. Some people, they're so, again, not, this was me, unaware, like, that what's actually causing their stress, but they're clearly getting agitated, they're getting stressed. It's, you got to figure that out, what's doing that, so that you can then make a conscious choice on how you're going to respond versus just reacting.
Mm, mm. Like that a lot. I think, just to pig on what Drew is saying, sorry, is that just the taking time to invest in yourself. And one of the things I love to do when I'm assisting fathers, especially when I first meet them, I ask this question: what things are you doing that you like, and what things are you doing that you don't like? Simple question, but you're going to get a lot. So fathers, dads, male caregivers, ask that of yourself. If you're not able to do that, see if you can get someone to assist you in getting those answers, so you can see what your lane, how you travel through life, and how you could or could not be doing the right thing. But especially during holiday season, because remember, most of the kids want you at 100% during the holiday season. So know those things that are going to be good, and if there's things that are not going to be good, how can you, in fact, do it from now, because time really goes by fast. Many dads who I chat with these days, one of the common things is, "Oh, how are things going?" They're saying the year has gone so fast. So staying calm with some time off, I think, is so important. Investing in yourself.
Yeah,
Know thyself.
yeah, yeah. I'll quickly add on with the stressors piece, the boundaries that I think you've mentioned. You have to learn how to protect your own energy. And around these stressors, it's establishing and communicating your boundaries in healthy ways, respectful ways, with those who are what we would call boundary busters. Sometimes that's a boss, sometimes that's a spouse, sometimes it's a parent, or
Yep.
a parent-in-law. And so you got to recognize the stressors, and then you've got to establish healthy, respectful, protective boundaries around your energy from the stressors. And when you're able to do that, then you feel, I think, more empowered, and you feel more in control. And that enables you to be more calm and responsive as opposed to reactive.
100%. Let's move on to our next point. Mindful activities dads can do with their kids to reduce stress.
Well, we've done a couple different shows about the power of 10 minutes of creative, engaging play with our children. I think there was the study in the UK that basically said, 10 minutes a day of creative, dance or art or crafts or even just physical activity sometimes, and also the value of rough and tumble play with our children. Just 10 minutes leads to them, to increased academic performance, all these markers around children. So 10 minutes of just direct presence with our children, looking them in the eyes, smiling at them, speaking positive, affirming words, or just observing them as they play, to me, are the simple things. So, what are activities? Well, the activities that your kids love and enjoy. That might be going out. in the snow and doing snow angels. It might be
Mhm.
sledding. It might be skating. It might be playing hockey in the driveway. It might be, um, you, I've got a bunch of daughters. It might be, you know, I hate to say this, but talking about the latest Taylor Swift, who knows what, because
Oh,
that's what they're in.
yes,
You
yes.
know,
Yeah, that it's all about
yeah,
them.
yeah, I
It's
can't believe I'm saying it,
irrelevant.
but look, at the end of the day, your goal is to be present with them. And so, from my perspective, just the 10 minutes and the activities that your children get excited or want to do with you, even if it may not be your jam. And sorry, Taylor Swift, but that's not that's not my thing.
No, it's definitely not mine either, but I hear you in regards to that. And this those activities, and again, if you don't know what they like to do, simple word or 2 words, ask them. Ask them. It's not a hard thing to do. Ask them what they like to do. Simple as that. It's not a hard thing to do. Just ask them. Don't make it complicated. Don't make it, because a lot of times if you do what they like to do, you're probably going to enjoy it also. And just those memories are built, especially over the holiday season.
Yeah.
So definitely good things. Good things. Let's talk about the next conversation piece, exploring the benefits of slowing down and focusing on quality time.
Yeah, Ed, why don't you get started?
Well, I think the first word is exploring, action. So take the time to look of the benefits of quality time. Make an effort. And again, even before you can do that even before the holidays start. If you have your child and say, "Hey, holidays are coming up, what's something you'd like to do?" Because again, they're going to get your time. It's not going to be interrupted. For many, especially if you can do it when you have the days off, if you have days off for the holiday season, even more so. Take that time, because the things they may like during the year may be different during Christmas time. You don't know unless you ask. I'm a firm believer, the best way for many dads, fathers, and caregivers to get ahead, ask questions. Ask, whether it's asking your young one what they like to do over the holidays, or asking your spouse, "Hey, what is a good idea we can do with the family over the holiday season?" Ask, get inclusive, be curious. That's where I'll start.
Yeah, well said. A couple of thoughts have gone through my mind as you were sharing. I'll start with this one. Scott Donnell had him on the show, and he talked about leaving a heritage rather than an inheritance. And to me, that means the heritage is hopefully one of connected, meaningful, valuable relationships where people feel loved, valued, and appreciated. And so the other thought that came to mind is, when I'm sure this story is common and I may not be saying it exactly right, but when you look back on your life from your deathbed, I don't know that there's many people that say, I wish I had earned more. I wish I had. The reflection is always about relationships. It's about the meaning of the people in their life that usually you hear a lot of potential regret or like wishing that's really where I would have spent my time. So we should take a lesson from those who have had the hindsight to come back to say to us, the relationships and the time with the people that matter most is really what I wish I could have more of, not more stuff. And so the benefits to me of slowing down, focusing on quality time are we're actually giving a gift to our future self. The research is also unequivocal in terms of the benefits to our children when they have engaged, responsible parents, dads and moms, but in particular, the benefits when dads fully engage with their children, what that means for their future. So those are my thoughts.
Well, I just want to piggyback on what you said now. Also, too, in that engagement, heightening that engagement over holiday season just makes it more special, right? I suppose, a time of year for many people, not all, but for many people, and it will create those lasting memories between yourself and your child or your children, and that means they're looking forward to next year, so they have something to look forward to. So you're
Mhm.
setting some foundation for future great times and great memories with your child and children, when you do something like that. So
Yeah.
that's what I just add on to that.
Yeah. I'll throw one more benefit on there. When you think about making those memories, whether it be through, traditions that you hold in your family or unique celebrations around the holiday time that become embedded in what your children experience each year growing up, that's one of the most powerful ways to transmit our values from our generation to the next generation. So to me, a benefit is if there's something that you hold as valuable or I'm not, but even in the word sacred within your family or within your history, a great way to transmit that and have that carry forward is to build that. And so that's a huge benefit because your children then, as they say, much more is caught than taught. They learn that through their life and then they start to instill it in their life as they grow up and become parents themselves.
I'll throw in one thing that just came into my alleged mind that could be I could may have chatted about, we could have put in earlier, but something I'm gonna challenge dads, fathers, and male caregivers. What's one non-negotiable with you and your child or children during the holiday season? So so I don't know, we could have put that in the call to action, but I just threw it out there right then.
Yeah, let's
What's
do it.
one non-negotiable during the holiday season between you and your child or children?
Yeah.
Just putting it out there. So let's end it off with practicing mindful practices dads can incorporate into daily life. Practical practices.
Well, for me, the simplest one is just some breathing, breathing exercises. Breathing is fundamental to obviously life, but often when we get stressed, as I mentioned at the opening, our breathing gets shortened and we're not actually, we're just getting caught up. And so a practical mindfulness is just simply breathing. There's a simple technique. There's the box breathing where you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and breathe out for 4. It's box breathing. You just repeat that over and over and over. You simply do that for 30 seconds to a minute, and allow your body and your mind to sort of get more in sync, or to release some of the tension that's being held in your body. I mean, that's a simple one. Or as you're breathing, notice, where am I feeling tension in my body? I think that's very practical. Another one that has been valuable for me at times, I'm not as consistent at this, but I'd like to reincorporate it, is journaling. Taking the time to sit down and write out thoughts, ideas, anything that's coming to my mind is, I think, a very important mindful practice. Frees you up, and there's also some research around brain activity and actual handwriting. So I recommend if you're journaling, you actually write it with your hand because a different part of your brain lights up as opposed to if you're text, like just writing or typing it, or even saying it into like your device if you have like a verbal recording. So those are two thoughts for dads.
Well, it's interesting. For a long period of time, I relied on so much stuff digitally, have it documented. But this goes with me everywhere I go. I have my book right in it. And actually, I was at an event a few weeks ago and I couldn't find this book. And I was so disappointed. I couldn't find it. And dads, can you ever relate? Have you ever lost something and then a few days later you're looking around and go, there it is. So I found it. So I'm very happy with that. So I agree with the journaling. I think another practice I know, a father who I really respect, who I've known for 30 years, almost every day he gets up in the morning and goes for a walk.
Mhm.
That has been a ritual, a great ritual for him for at least 30 years. Morning walk every day, no matter what time of year. And that has been foundational to him as a dad, him as a man. It's a small thing, but it's such a huge thing. Whenever we chat, he always gives me a story from his morning walk, one of his morning walks. So that is the end of this one. Mindful parenting during the holiday hustle. We talked about 4 things: how to stay calm and present amidst the business of the season. We also talked about mindful activities dads can do with their kids to reduce stress. Exploring the Number 3, exploring benefits of slowing down and focusing on quality time. And then finally, practical mindfulness practices dads can incorporate into daily life. So, Drew, what resource we recommend for those who are watching or listening this?
Again, I think that our dad mentor community is a fantastic resource where you can come connect with like-minded dads, but you also have a wealth of additional all of the Dad Central ebooks, webinars, podcasts available to you. Plus, we have the Dad's Roadmap, which is practical step-by-step guidance on every aspect of fatherhood. And so you start with knowing and understanding your role, knowing and regulating yourself, connecting, collaborating with your partner, learning the skills of coaching in every relationship, and then finally leading yourself. And so there's an audio lessons within each of those stages that take dads from being stressed and overwhelmed and unclear to feeling much more confident, very calm, and really connected to the people that matter to them most. And so, to me, Dad Mentor is like the go-to resource as far as you need support or direction or guidance on how do I step into these areas as a father, and how do I grow myself to achieve the goals that I want. That's your best bet.
All right. Fantastic. Well, thanks everyone for taking the most important thing, their time to hang out with us, and great things, not only for the holiday season, but year round. But definitely with the holiday season coming up, if you haven't had a chance to chat with, address them, start with one. We've given four, start with one and build. So, as always, our show is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. Dove Men Care believes that care is the best of a man because when men care for themselves and others, there's a positive impact. As always, don't just manage your time, manage your energy, and remember to give yourselves grace. And we'll chat with you soon. Be well.